We gotta go before we argue. Are we on?
Yes.
Good evening. Welcome to the Government Operations Committee. It's regularly scheduled. This is Wednesday, September 3rd. The voting members of this committee are Councilor Beck, Councilor Dean, Councilor Mallard, Councilor Trimble, and myself, Sue Laws, will be chairing this as well. We have at the table City Assistant City Manager Courtney O'Donnell. We have Fournier, Councilor Fournier is at the table, Council Chair Pelletier, and Council Leonard is also at the table. Did I get everybody? Okay. We have only 4 items on the agenda. That doesn't sound too bad. The first one is authorizing the city manager to amend the FY25 Main Prevention Network subcontract.
Yes, this item is actually part of a longstanding contract, I believe. Okay. Oh, there she is. We have Jamie Comstock, Health Promotions Manager, in the room as well. And so this is just an extension, as the state has, I think, offered additional funding to extend. If you'd like to come to the table and correct me, Jamie, you are welcome to do that.
Yeah, hi, Jamie Comstock, Public Health and Community Services. Originally, we had a 1-year contract with the Maine CDC for the Maine Prevention Network work for FY25. Instead of awarding us an additional or a separate 1-year contract for FY26, the Maine CDC extended the FY25 contract to make it a 2-year contract. That funding has already been through this committee and has been appropriated. But we have a subcontract with Northern Light Mayo Hospital to provide prevention services in Piscataquis County. And that subcontract needs to follow the cadence of this contract and be extended for a year also.
We're looking for a motion to approve.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any questions, discussion?
Well, just one quick question. The appropriation has already been made. We're not changing any money values.
Okay.
Nope.
Any other questions, discussions, objections? Seeing none, so go to council. Okay, our second order looks very much like this one. Authorizing the city manager to execute partnership agreements with Bangor and Brewer school departments to provide school-based tobacco treatment as part of the prevention network grant.
Just really quick, Councillor Hawes, I believe I have a conflict of interest here. I occasionally substitute teach for Brewer. So, I mean, I just want to lay that out there for everyone.
I'm not sure that substitute teaching would constitute a conflict in this, but what is the role of the committee? Does anybody feel there's a conflict?
I don't know there's a conflict.
Okay. You do not have a conflict.
Do a roll call.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Roll call vote. Councilor Dean?
No. No conflict, is that what I
Right.
mean? Okay, no.
Are you saying no, you don't? No, then no. Councilor Trimble?
No.
Councilor Pelletier?
I'm not on the committee.
Councilor Beck?
No.
No. And I am also no. You officially have no. So back to the item. Go ahead.
Sure. Part of the Maine Prevention Network work is embedding two tobacco treatment specialists in Bangor High School and in Brewer High School. This is a continuation of work that we did last year. And in order to conduct that work, the Maine CDC is requiring we have a partnership agreement in place between the public health department and the high schools to just outline responsibilities.
Questions? Council Pilcher?
My only question is this fully grant funded?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Council Mallon?
It being a partnership, does that mean we share equally in the administration of the program? Or does the public health here, are they the administrators? The partnership usually means it's equal.
Yeah, so we provide a tobacco treatment specialist to spend a day a week at each school. They see students and provide tobacco treatment. The schools provide the space, and each school decides the process that the kids get to the tobacco treatment specialist. So the school's responsible for working out that process. We do record keeping and reporting.
Yeah, questions? We have a motion?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. If there's no further discussion, questions or objections? Okay. This will move on to council.
Thank you.
Okay. I would assume this one's coming to the assistant city manager. It's city council appointee evaluation.
Yes, thank you. It's that time of year again to kick off council appointee process, their evaluation process. Years ago, it was determined that this process would be better served in October of every year, and that way councilors, especially those freshly elected, have that year to kind of observe and provide hopefully constructive feedback through this evaluation process for the 4 council appointees: the city solicitor, assessor, clerk, and manager. And so, with the exception of the city manager, because she is newer and her contract dictates sort of like a 6-month sort of evaluation, or within the first 6 months, we're kind of tacking that one onto this. She will have an additional 1 year evaluation next June. And then the rest of the 3 council appointees in October, and then thereafter they should be all on the same schedule again. And that's just to be in accordance with her contract and give everybody the appropriate timing, if you will, to move through that process. And so with the process itself, we did revamp this a couple of years ago to include stakeholder information. And so there was a spreadsheet on there. You can see that there are internal stakeholders, so staff of the appointee, other department heads, and folks that work with that individual all get an opportunity to respond to a survey and provide feedback for your consideration later on. And then those more sort of external facing positions, the manager and the solicitor in particular, have some external stakeholders as well that we send that survey to as well. And so on the back, I gave a proposed timeline. So the appointees know this is happening. They've been given their self-evaluation. I had a little bit of trouble with SurveyMonkey, so by tomorrow I will make sure that the stakeholder ones go out as well. And then they have a deadline, and I will compile that information along with a number of other relevant materials for your consideration, send that all to you all, and then you'll have an opportunity to go through and evaluate each of the appointees. And then I take that information, compile it, and then each of you, as you know, were selected to be on the evaluation committee for each of the members or each of the appointees. But we do really encourage that everybody participate in this process, regardless of whether or not you're on that committee. And so I do think, and I think some counselors would vouch that the SurveyMonkey is really easy to use and a lot more convenient than tracking paper. However, if you have a personal preference for paper, I can certainly accommodate that. Just let me know. But otherwise, it should be, I believe your iPad should function in order to respond to that Survey Monkey. But if you have any trouble, let me know. And so, yeah, that's sort of the gist of this process. Again, the intent is to kind of provide the council with well-rounded information to take into consideration, and it also provides the council opportunity to sit down, review the feedback with each appointee, and then set goals for the upcoming year as well. And the committee chair that's responsible, as noted on the committee assignments, is the one that kind of wrangles in and makes sure that they actually detail out where the council and the appointee determined were those goals. And then that is put back into the file and distributed to the appointees. And then next year you get an update in terms of these were the goals, do you think they met them? And then the opportunity to set more goals for the following year. Again, just real quick for the city manager, because this is just sort of a check-in point in our first 6 months. Any suggested goals could certainly be redone next June, but they could also be like the foundation for those goals that are set in June for her following year. And so, yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions? It's a
Goals
good
for,
one.
goals for the current year or where?
They will be distributed to you, and as well, the appointees also will have an opportunity to provide feedback on where they believe that they landed with the goals as well. In that way, again, the hope is that this is a comprehensive process that provides kind of well-rounded information for you all, especially because if you were new this year, you wouldn't be privy to what those goals were, and so all that information will be provided in the packet.
Other questions? Comments? Okay.
My only other thing is just I'd like to point out that my goal right now is for October 28th and or the 29th, if necessary, is to actually set those executive sessions for you to actually sit down with each appointee to kind of review these evaluations and set those goals. So if you have a big scheduling conflict, please let me know sooner rather than later, because I'd like to get all of that on the books so it's set and good to go. Because obviously we want to make sure that process is wrapped up in this current council year.
Is that it for that item?
Yeah.
Because I believe you have updates for us.
I do have a couple. I just want to make sure everybody knows that we have received some helpful feedback related to this room as it relates to sound and the visuals and things, that we continue to troubleshoot through that. And there's also additional supplies that we have not yet received. So for example, in the center of this room, there will be a table with monitors and a mic, which will help supplement the mic that's above us, things like that. An additional camera is going to be installed. And so, yeah, lots of things to kind of work through in these early weeks, but we are making steady progress to make sure that these meetings are as accessible as possible for our citizens. And I think that was really it for my updates anyway, unless anybody has a question or anything.
Council Beck.
Not a question, just a comment, just hearing from people how they really enjoy how interactive the videos are. So you're really doing great with that iPad. So hopefully with
Yeah.
that Emmy, I definitely would move, we get you an Emmy, you know?
But thank you.
She's gonna have her own Emmy. That's it?
Yes.
Anybody have anything else? I don't see any. We are adjourned at 6:00.